Hi, friends. So I wanted to share something that kind of caught me off guard this week. I've been writing a lot, working on a memoir, because I just feel like I have a story in me that I want to get out. But what I didn't expect was that story would start to tell me who I am. I know that sounds really strange, but it's true. And so after the last few weeks, I've been working on this chapter from my memoir about my childhood. And I thought just putting it down was documenting what happened. But then instead, it shifted. And every time I sat down to look at it and edit and write a little more piece of the puzzle, I saw parts of myself show up. And it wasn't just memories. It was like I understood myself better. And these connections started sparking. It's kind of crazy. And I wanted to share it with you because I have this feeling that I'm not the only one. And maybe it could be kind of cool for you too. So when we're young, life just happens. We don't really think about it. We don't have any kind of wisdom or understanding why people behave the way they do, why things happen the way they happen. We don't understand our families or why they're doing what they're doing. We don't understand the trauma or even that it is trauma that's happening to us. We don't understand our emotions or the neglect. We certainly don't understand survival. It's just our normal. We're just living it. And then we grow up, we get jobs and we raise children and we have families and we pay our bills and we live our life. Maybe we're caretakers, we're working on our marriages and reinventing ourselves when things fall apart. And then somehow all those childhood experiences are kind of there in the background. And sometimes they're just kind of quiet and we don't really think about that they're there. And then one day something triggers a memory. Or maybe like me, you're sitting down writing about it and you're like, "Ooh, wow, there's something more than I really thought." So I've described this process to some friends and I imagine it kind of like I'm working on a 10 million piece puzzle. And first, there's like all these random pieces that you don't really understand or what it'll look like, and nothing seems really connected. And then you find this blue piece or a green piece, and there's a corner, and you have no idea where anything belongs. But then eventually, piece by piece, things start to come together, and you start recognizing patterns, and you're like, wait, what's that? That's why I react this way. My gosh, that's why I struggle with abandonment issues or put up walls. That's why I'm fearful of this thing. And that puzzle that I'm creating, it starts to make everything make sense. And it's not like it happens all at once. It's slow. But patiently, one piece at a time, everything's becoming more clear. And that's what writing has been doing for me. And it's so cool. And it's so wild. So there have been some moments while writing where I've literally stopped and just stared at what I just wrote. Not because I didn't know what to say, but more because I feel like I had this massive realization, something I hadn't understood before. And it was just clear for the first time. Something I've been living inside of me for the last 51 years. And all of a sudden it came bursting out. Can you imagine carrying something for half a century and not realizing what it actually was or what it meant or what it was doing to yourself? So that's what this process has felt like. And it is humbling. It's sometimes emotional and sometimes exhausting, but it's also incredibly freeing. And one of the biggest things I realized is that healing isn't just about remembering what's happened, understanding. And there's definitely a difference. I remember plenty, but I didn't understand what those experiences were or what they were teaching me or what they meant for me or what I learned about myself, what they were convincing me to believe or how they shaped me into the woman that I am. So I feel like understanding changes everything because once we understand, we could choose differently. And another thing that I realize, I think more people should write, not because everybody needs to publish a book and not because everyone needs to put all the details of their life out there and not because you necessarily want to become a writer, but writing gives us something our busy lives are rarely doing. It gives us time to actually hear ourselves think. So we spend so much of our lives living and consuming and watching, listening, scrolling, reacting. But when you're writing, you're asking something different. You're asking, what are you actually feeling? What do you actually believe? What happened that made you you are? Those are powerful questions, and they deserve honest answers. You don't have to write beautifully. Goodness knows that sometimes what I put out there is trash. You don't have to worry about grammar. Nobody has to read it. So that's right. This isn't necessarily about creating something impressive. It's just about discovering something true for yourself. So sometimes I think we're carrying an entire conversation inside ourselves that we've never taken time to listen to. Writing gives those conversations a voice. And one thing I'm learning is while I'm working on this memoir, that healing is definitely not linear. Sometimes I feel so strong and so brave and so creative. And other days I write one paragraph and I'm done and I'm like, this is stupid. What am I doing? Sometimes I finish and I sit and drink a cup of coffee because I need a minute to process what I just wrote down, what surfaced inside me. And that's okay. That's okay too. Healing doesn't have a deadline. And we certainly don't get extra credit for rushing. So just show up. One page, one memory, one connection with yourself at a time. Maybe your kids are grown up, left the house, you're an empty nester. Maybe you're navigating what that feels like and who you are. Maybe you're caring for an aging parent. Maybe you're reinventing yourself after a divorce or a relationship change or retirement or loss or a big move. Or maybe you're just asking questions that so many of us at midlife are asking, like, who am I now? And I don't think that question is asking us to invent ourselves in a new way, try to become somebody new. I think it's just an invitation to remember who we've always been underneath all those layers on top of us. And that's a different journey. And I'm good with that. So today I just wanted to leave you with a little challenge. Find 10 minutes this week, maybe not all at once, but grab a notebook or your phone, anything. Don't overthink it. Just start writing. Maybe it's one sentence. What I wish someone understood about my childhood, or the moment that changed me, or maybe lately I've been realizing. And then just keep writing and don't edit. Don't judge. Don't worry if it makes sense. And don't think about it too much. It's just for you. Just let your heart catch up with whatever you're writing. Thank you for listening to my ramblings today. This memoir I'm working on is stretching me in ways I did not expect, but it's also teaching me that my healing isn't about becoming someone else. I feel like it's about meeting the woman that I've been all along. And if sharing my journey is giving even one person permission to begin their own, oh my gosh, yes, I'm in for it. Every difficult page that I've been working on is worth it. I would love for you to leave a comment. I love hearing your story. So until next time, friend, take care of yourself. Keep becoming whoever the woman is you want to be. And as always, live better.